Bit of a sloppy track here at Soldier Field. Still getting some of the wraparound rain bands of a low-pressure system that's hovered over Chicago the last couple of days. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Now Fields going to throw on the first play. Man open, that's Byron Pringle complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play.
First down for Byron Pringle, and he's a smart gamble by the Chicago Bears. They saw a guy put up 568 yards last year, and he was buried in Kansas City's depth chart. They do believe his ceiling is much higher as a full-time starter, so they brought him in
under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. And he slings one that's incomplete. The big story all week, Texans coach Lovie Smith making his return to Chicago. Lovie, of course, the coach of the Bears from 2004 to 2012, and he was at the helm when the Bears won that NFC title in 2006. Wound up 81-63 during his tenure here in the Windy City. Then he would have that pit stop down in Tampa and then come back to the state of Illinois as the head coach of the Fighting Illini in the Big Ten before returning to the National Football League. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. On fourth down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Here's Smith to return it. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And that to the 30. It'll be second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Second down and 7. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves them in pretty good shape. They go right back to Mack. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Now a give running left with Mack. He'll take it past the 40 to the 41, second down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
And he'll try to throw here. Mills. This to the outside for Mack. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The safety Landon Collins there to make the tackle.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Mills. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Bears are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit. And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Murray. And the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They take over here following the interception. That's the good news. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Got an open man. It's Pringle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. A shotgun snap, Fields. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw taken in by Pringle. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Now Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Jonathan Greenard running in to pick up the sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Texans will take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
When you're a capable runner, oftentimes your quarterback coach, your offensive coordinator, they love to see you break the pocket and go ahead and take off. I think he could have gotten vertical and picked up something there. Instead, he pushed it downfield, incomplete.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Looking to throw is Mills. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A first down throw for Mills. And that is incomplete here.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Play action now. Mills looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. The defense, they were all over that. As soon as that ball was in the air, it was dangerous. Not only was it intercepted, CD, but they return it for the touchdown.
Yeah, and he read that the entire way. He was reacting before other players had a chance to react themselves. Had the determination to say, this just won't be a pick. It's going to be 6 points as he takes it the other way to the end zone.
And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe hit them on those short passes on the perimeter.
And Mills is intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Now this throw caught left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Chris Harris speeds in for the sack on the corner blitz. On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
He took a shot there, but boy, was that ill-advised from my viewpoint. Coverage was awfully tight. How did he get away with that one not being picked off?
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw. Fields. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Jonathan Grenard. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. On is Jamie Gillen to punt this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's returnable now for Smith. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. All told, a 54-yard punt, 13 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. On 1st down, they'll start out with Mack. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Fields. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a 1st down. Now it's Fields. And it'll be intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Mills to throw it. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struck, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Desmond King picks it, and the Texans are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the 2nd half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Throwing, Mills. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Landon Collins. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Desmond King picks it. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. So what a play there in the final minute of this first half. They get the interception. More importantly, their first points of the ball game.
Yeah, that one play certainly changes the outlook, doesn't it? I mean, they're looking at going into the locker room, no points on the board, not playing well defensively, deflated, and now things may have changed for them.
From his end zone is Byron Pringle. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Texans scoop it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So a turnover there on the kickoff. And don't look now, but that just made things a little more interesting.
Very interesting, because when you're trailing in a game, these are mistakes that you pray for. You just went down and scored. Now you get the football right back.
Open man is Cooks. He's got it. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Texans are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is down to 2. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Here's Fields. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And this is caught on the sideline. And he gets out of bounds as well. How about that? That one goes for 36 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Fields. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Santos' kick is up and through. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together, come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mills. He gets it to Cooks. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. On 3rd down, here's Mills. That's complete to John Ross. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This ball caught by Mechie. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 34. To throw, Mills. He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Called that a very strong gain of 24.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort. But instead, he sets his guys up in excellent shape for the 1st and goal.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Mack again. And he'll be stopped up short as the tackle is made at about the 3. This Bears defense trying to hold on. This is 3rd and goal. Play fake. Mills. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Brevin Jordan, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is now 2. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent is still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
Third quarter of a 2-point game, a good one so far. Here's 2nd and 10. Fields throw complete here to Kmet. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Fields to Kmet there for a Chicago first.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Here's Fields. Gets this one left side to Pettis. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Now a first down throw, Fields. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
We're glad you're with us from Soldier Field in Chicago. 3rd quarter here, 2nd and 10. To throw is Fields. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
That's complete to Mooney. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. To the air again, Fields. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. Now Fields. Open man, he finds Clement. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Bears have retaken a 3rd quarter lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is up to 5. The touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They had seized the lead there for a little bit with a starting drive in the 3rd quarter, but a moment ago the touchdown that puts them back behind.
So their defense is under siege a little bit right now because they have not able to solve their opponents. So they've got to keep hammering away on offense and try and win this one in what appears to be a shootout.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Mills now. Flush to his right. Incomplete.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play, and he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Mills. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. 15 yards. The Texans pick up the first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. On the move past the 40. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
Mills now looks to throw on 1st down. This to the outside for Mack. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Landon Collins. And the Bears are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Fields now to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
On 4th down, Fields. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Brandon Williams there on the pass rush, give him the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and 3rd and 8 now.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And now here's another interception. There he goes, left side. The 30, 10, 5. And they will score. Pick 6 for the Bears, touchdown. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tank.
That's your boy Old Mo, you said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick 6. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mills. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. But we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And that the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away. When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
He's going to let it go again. And this is caught at the 20. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Mills. And he comes back with one complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Mack. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Second down and goal. Mills. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Marlon Mack there to make the grab. And the Texans have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very... Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans at their own 25-yard line. Our first down throw for Mills. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mills. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got a man complete. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
I would say just add that one to the total big plays he's already made here in the first month of the year. You've got to think the front office and the coaching staff have got to be excited about what they've seen so far and really excited.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, He recognized that they were all over that as he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
The tackle made by Eric Murray. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now Fields. Got an open man. It's Pringle. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Line of scrimmage to the 31 now on 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And you know they enjoyed taking that knee because they're now going to be 1-2 instead of 0-3. And psychologically, that's a big difference early in the season.
It certainly is. It's a big barrier breaker because you get to 0-3, you're not thinking playoffs. At 1-2, you still believe that you're going to be a playoff team.
Yeah, you feel you got some hope on your side. 0-3, things start to look pretty bleak. Normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
Hey, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to one possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. And in this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So for the Bears, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Texans,